West Africa, a land painted with vibrant cultures and a rich historical tapestry, is home to myriad ethnic groups. Each group, with unique traditions and stories, contributes to the dynamism of this region. From the bustling markets of Accra to the serene landscapes of the Sahel, West Africa's cultural heritage is diverse. The Fulani and Malinka stand out, their destinies intertwined for centuries, shaping the region's cultural landscape. West Africa, a region of vast savannas, lush forests and arid deserts, has long been a crossroads of cultures and civilizations. Ancient trade routes fostered the exchange of goods, ideas, and traditions. Powerful empires and sophisticated social structures emerged. The region's diversity is reflected in its multitude of ethnic groups. Each contributes to the rich tapestry of languages, customs, and beliefs. The relationship between the Fulani and Malinka, often described as one of interdependence and mutual influence, dates back centuries. Their early interactions, primarily shaped by their complementary economic activities, laid the foundation for a complex and multifaceted relationship. The Fulani, with their vast herds of cattle, sheep, and goats, relied on mobility to access grazing lands and water sources. Their nomadic lifestyle brought them into contact with settled agricultural communities like the Mandinka, who had mastered the art of cultivating crops such as millet, sorghum, and rice. This economic interdependence, a delicate balance between pastoralism and agriculture, formed the bedrock of their early interactions. The Fulani, in need of grains and other agricultural produce, exchanged their livestock and dairy products with the Malinka. This exchange, not merely transactional but deeply embedded in social customs and traditions, fostered a sense of mutual reliance and respect. Over time, this economic partnership evolved into a multifaceted relationship encompassing cultural exchange, religious syncretism, and political alliances, shaping the destinies of both groups in profound ways. The vast expanse of West Africa, with its diverse ecological zones, provided the backdrop for the early interactions between the Fulani and Malinka. The Fulani, masters of pastoralism, adapted their lives to the rhythms of the dry and rainy seasons, their movements guided by the search for grazing lands and water sources for their cattle. Their nomadic lifestyle, a testament to their resilience and adaptability, brought them into regular contact with settled communities like the Malinke. The Malinka, renowned for their agricultural expertise, had carved out a niche for themselves in the fertile lands of the savanna and forest zones. Their villages, bustling with activity, were centers of agricultural production, their fields yielding bountiful harvests of millet, sorghum, rice, and other essential crops. This stark contrast in lifestyles, however, did not breed isolation but rather fostered a symbiotic relationship between these two communities. The Fulani, in need of grains to supplement their diet, found willing trading partners in the Malinka, who recognized the value of livestock and dairy products in their own lives. Trade, the lifeblood of ancient societies, shaped early interactions between the Fulani and Malinka. The Fulani brought cattle, sheep, goats, milk, butter, and hides. These were exchanged for grains, vegetables, fruits, woven mats, and pottery. Marketplaces at crossroads or rivers became vibrant hubs of exchange. They were meeting grounds for news, alliances, and cultural exchanges. The sounds of traders and children echoed, a testament to ancient commerce. While economic exchanges formed the backbone of early Fulani-Malinka interactions, their relationship extended far beyond the realm of trade. The regular contact between these communities, facilitated by their complementary lifestyles, led to the development of social ties and cultural exchanges that enriched the lives of both groups. Fulani herders, traversing vast distances, often sought temporary residence near Malinka villages during the dry season, allowing their cattle to graze on the stubble of harvested fields. This proximity fostered a sense of familiarity and trust, leading to intermarriage, the sharing of meals, and participation in each other's cultural events. The Fulani, renowned for their musical traditions, often entertained their Malinke hosts with enchanting melodies played on the kora, a stringed instrument made from a gourd. The Malinka, in turn, shared their storytelling prowess, captivating their Fulani guests with tales of ancient heroes and mythical creatures. These cultural exchanges, a testament to the human capacity for adaptation and appreciation of diversity, helped bridge cultural differences and foster a sense of shared identity. Cattle, central to the Fulani way of life, played a pivotal role in shaping their interactions with the Malinka. For the Fulani, cattle were more than just livestock. They were a symbol of wealth, prestige, and cultural identity. Their lives revolved around the care and well-being of their herds, their movements dictated by the availability of grazing lands and water sources. The Malinka, recognizing the importance of cattle in Fulani society, accorded them a special status in their interactions. Cattle were often given as bride wealth, cementing alliances between Fulani and Malinke families. They were also used in religious ceremonies, their sacrifice a way of honoring ancestors and seeking their blessings. The manure from cattle, highly valued as fertilizer, was traded to Malinke farmers, enriching their fields and increasing crop yields. This mutually beneficial exchange, centered around cattle, underscored the interconnectedness of Fulani and Malinke societies and highlighted the economic and cultural significance of these animals in their shared history. The arrival of Islam in West Africa had a profound impact on the Fulani and Malinka. Carried by Arab and Berber traders, Islam first took root in the Sahel region. The new faith resonated with many West Africans, offering a compelling alternative to traditional beliefs. The Fulani played a significant role in spreading Islam through their trade networks. The Malinke, with their trade routes, were also receptive to the new religion. The adoption of Islam by both the Fulani and Malinke had a profound impact on their relationship. It fostered a sense of shared identity and intertwined their destinies. Islam bridged cultural differences and fostered brotherhood. Mosques became important meeting places for shared religious practices and social interaction. As Islam flourished in West Africa, centers of learning emerged, attracting scholars and students. Cities like Timbuktu, Jenne, and Kano became renowned for their mosques, libraries, and universities. These hubs played a crucial role in fostering intellectual exchange. While Islam brought significant changes to West African societies, it did not erase existing beliefs. Instead, religious syncretism occurred, blending Islamic teachings with traditional customs. Among the Fulani, cattle reverence found expression in Islamic practices. The Malinka blended Islamic beliefs with agricultural traditions, seeking blessings for their crops. This syncretism reflected Islam's adaptability and the resilience of local traditions. The emergence of the Mali Empire in the 13th century marked a turning point in West African history. Founded by the legendary warrior king Sundiata Keita, the empire rapidly expanded its territory. Known for its military prowess, wealth, and sophisticated administration, the Mali Empire became a dominant force in West Africa. Under Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire reached the zenith of its power and influence. His legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 showcased the empire's opulence to the wider world. The integration of the Fulani into the Mali Empire was not a one-sided affair, but rather a mutually beneficial partnership that brought advantages to both groups. The Fulani, accustomed to a nomadic lifestyle, were granted a degree of autonomy within the empire, allowing them to maintain their pastoralist traditions and migratory patterns. In return for their allegiance and economic contributions, the Fulani benefited from the empire's political stability, protection from external threats, and access to vast trading networks. They were able to move their herds freely across the empire's territory, seeking out the best grazing lands and water sources without fear of harassment or raiding. The Malinke rulers of Mali, for their part, recognized the economic and strategic importance of the Fulani. Cattle, a symbol of wealth and prestige in West African societies, were highly valued as a source of meat, milk, hides, and labor. The Fulani's expertise in animal husbandry and their vast herds provided a steady supply of livestock and dairy products to the empire's urban centers and trading posts. The Fulani's pastoralist economy played a vital role in the prosperity of the Mali Empire. Their herds of cattle, sheep, and goats provided a steady supply of meat, milk, butter, and hides, essential commodities in high demand within the empire's urban centers and trading posts. The Fulani, through their extensive trade networks that crisscrossed the Sahel, connected the Mali Empire to distant markets, facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas across vast distances. The empire's control of key trade routes such as the trans-Saharan routes that linked West Africa to North Africa and the Middle East further enhanced the Fulani's economic opportunities. Gold, salt, cola nuts, enslaved people, and other valuable commodities flowed through these routes, generating wealth for the empire and its inhabitants, including the Fulani. The Fulani, in turn, used their newfound wealth to acquire goods and services from Malinke artisans and traders. Fine cotton cloth, iron tools, pottery, and other manufactured goods found their way into Fulani communities, enriching their material culture and strengthening the bonds of interdependence between these two groups. The integration of the Fulani into the Mali Empire fostered economic interdependence and cultural exchange. Fulani traditions, such as their distinctive music, oral literature, and social customs, found expression within the empire's diverse cultural tapestry. Fulani griots entertained Malinke courts with epic tales, preserving their cultural heritage. Malinka art, architecture, and fashion, influenced by Islamic aesthetics, also left their mark on Fulani communities. The shared embrace of Islam further strengthened the bonds between the Fulani and Malinka. Mosques became spaces where both groups gathered for prayer, education, and social interaction. Islamic reform movements swept across West Africa, challenging existing practices and calling for a return to a purer form of Islam. These movements, led by charismatic scholars, sought to rid Islam of syncretic beliefs and practices. The Fulani, with their tradition of Islamic scholarship, played a pivotal role in these reform movements. Reformers called for stricter adherence to Islamic law and the establishment of Islamic states, governed by Sharia. Their message resonated with many who felt that the true essence of Islam had become diluted. The Fulani's voices echoed across the savannah, leading the charge for religious reform. Section 2. Fulani scholars leading the charge. Fulani scholars, renowned for their knowledge and piety, were influential figures in West African Islamic reform movements. One such figure was Uthman Dan Fodio, who spearheaded a jihad in present-day northern Nigeria. Dan Fodio's teachings ignited religious fervor, leading to the establishment of the Sokoto Caliphate. In other parts of West Africa, Fulani scholars like Sheikh Umar Tall and Modibo Adama led similar movements. These scholars left an indelible mark on West African Islam, shaping its trajectory for centuries. Their teachings inspired generations to embrace a more devout path. Section 3. The rise of Islamic states, reshaping the political landscape. Islamic reform movements led to the rise of new Islamic states, often led by Fulani scholars and warriors. These states emphasized Islamic education, justice, and moral reform, challenging the existing political order. The Sokoto Caliphate, founded by Uthman Dan Fodio, exemplified this trend. Dan Fodio's call for jihad resonated with many Fulani pastoralists. The resulting uprising led to the overthrow of several Hausa kingdoms and the establishment of the Sokoto Caliphate. Similar movements led to the emergence of Islamic states like the Masina Empire in present-day Mali. These states aimed to create societies that reflected their understanding of Islamic principles. Section 4. Navigating change, collaboration, and resistance. The rise of Fulani-led Islamic states brought significant changes to the relationship between the Fulani and Malinke. Shared faith and economic ties fostered collaboration and peaceful coexistence. Malinke traders benefited from the stability provided by these Islamic states. However, the emphasis on Islamic orthodoxy sometimes clashed with the more flexible interpretations of Islam practiced by some Malinke communities. Expansionist ambitions of some Islamic states led to conflicts with Malinke kingdoms. Some Malinke rulers embraced reform, aligning with Fulani Islamic leaders. Others resisted Fulani dominance, defending their traditional ways of life. This interplay of collaboration, competition, and conflict shaped the dynamics between the Fulani and Malinke. The transformative period in West African history was marked by both cooperation and resistance. Section 1. Colonial encounters, a new order imposed. The arrival of European colonial powers in West Africa reshaped the political, economic, and social landscapes. The Fulani and Malinke were drawn into the orbit of European imperialism. Colonial rule disrupted existing power structures and social hierarchies. The Fulani had to navigate the complexities of a new ruling order. Their traditional grazing lands were often encroached upon by colonial plantations. The Malinka faced challenges under colonial rule, with traditional economic activities disrupted. Traditional systems of governance were undermined as colonial administrators appointed chiefs and headmen. The imposition of colonial rule brought profound transformations to the region. Section 2. Divide and rule, sowing seeds of discord. European colonial powers employed divide and rule tactics to consolidate control. This strategy exploited existing ethnic, religious, and regional divisions. The Fulani and Malinke were not immune to these divisive tactics. Colonial administrators sometimes favored one group over the other. Preferential treatment fostered resentment and suspicion between communities. The imposition of artificial boundaries created new sources of conflict. Competition over scarce resources further strained relations between the Fulani and Malinke. Section 3. The struggle for independence, shared aspirations. The shared experience of oppression under colonial rule ignited a spirit of resistance. The Fulani and Malinke joined hands with other ethnic groups in the struggle for independence. Nationalist movements emerged, demanding an end to colonial rule. These movements united people from all walks of life in a common cause. Fulani and Malinke intellectuals played pivotal roles in these nationalist movements. Their efforts culminated in the wave of independence movements that swept across Africa. The dawn of independence brought hope and uncertainty as newly independent nations grappled with the legacies of colonialism. The Fulani and Malinke sought to define their place in these emerging nations. In some instances, they fostered unity and cooperation. Their common Islamic faith often served as a bridge between communities. However, ethnic tensions and competition for resources re-emerged in the post-colonial era. The Fulani faced challenges related to land tenure and access to water. The Malinkes sometimes found themselves at odds with Fulani herders over land use. In contemporary West Africa, the Fulani and Malinke continue to play vital roles in the region's economy. The Fulani remain deeply connected to their cattle, their herds a source of livelihood and cultural pride. They navigate vast distances, their movements dictated by the seasons, and the search for grazing lands. The Malinke continue to cultivate the land, their fields yielding essential crops that sustain millions. Malinke farmers play a crucial role in ensuring food security. Their agricultural expertise is a testament to their resilience and adaptability. Both the Fulani and Malinke have diversified their economic activities. Many Fulani have transitioned from nomadic pastoralism to settled livestock farming. This shift has led to new challenges and opportunities. The Malinke have ventured beyond their traditional agricultural pursuits. Many have migrated to urban centers, seeking employment in various industries. Their entrepreneurial spirit has contributed to the dynamism of West African economies. The social fabric of West Africa is woven from countless cultures. The Fulani and Malinke have navigated the complexities of coexistence for centuries. The shared embrace of Islam has fostered a sense of unity between the Fulani and Malinke. Mosques serve as important meeting places for prayer and social interaction. Religious leaders often act as mediators in disputes, promoting dialogue and understanding. However, tensions sometimes simmer, fueled by historical grievances and competition for resources. Stereotypes and prejudices can strain relations and lead to mistrust. Despite these challenges, many Fulani and Malinke communities continue to find ways to live together peacefully. Intermarriage has fostered family ties and cultural exchange, creating bridges of understanding. Section 3. Political landscapes, power, representation, and tension. In the post-independence era, both the Fulani and Malinke have played significant roles in politics. Fulani elites have held high-ranking positions in government, the military, and the civil service. Their influence has shaped political discourse and policy decisions. The Malinke have also ascended to positions of power, their influence stemming from their historical dominance in certain regions. They have held key ministerial positions and served as diplomats. However, the pursuit of power has exposed fault lines within and between these communities. Political rivalries, often fueled by competition for resources, have led to tensions and conflict. Elections can exacerbate ethnic divisions, with politicians exploiting ethnic identities to mobilize support. This manipulation of ethnic sentiments can undermine national unity. Efforts to build inclusive and equitable societies are hindered by these divisions. Section 4. Challenges and opportunities towards a shared future. The Fulani and Malinke face a future fraught with challenges and opportunities. Resource scarcity, exacerbated by climate change and population growth, poses a significant threat. Competition over dwindling resources can lead to conflict. Political instability further exacerbates these challenges. Despite these challenges, there is hope for a more peaceful and prosperous future. The Fulani and Malinke possess the resilience to overcome obstacles and build a brighter future. Key to this endeavor is the promotion of dialogue, understanding, and respect for diversity. By acknowledging their shared history and addressing the root causes of conflict, they can forge a path towards a more inclusive society. Their destinies are intertwined in a tapestry of peace, prosperity, and shared progress. The story of the Fulani and Malinke is not merely a historical footnote. It is a vibrant tapestry woven into the fabric of West African society. Shared prayers echo from mosques and cultural exchanges transcend generations. Their journey offers valuable lessons for a world grappling with division. From early interactions as nomads and farmers, to mutually beneficial exchanges and a shared embrace of Islam, which forged a spiritual kinship. The Fulani and Malinke have navigated a complex relationship. Their story includes moments of conflict, a reminder that even strong bonds can be tested, yet the threads of unity have held. Shared values of hospitality and respect for elders and a belief in community buffer against division, reminding them of their common humanity and interconnected destinies. As West Africa stands at a crossroads grappling with globalization and climate change, the relationship between the Fulani and Malinke is crucial. Their choices today will shape their future. The stakes are high, but so is the potential for positive change. By drawing on shared history and cultural ties, they can be beacons of hope, showing peaceful coexistence is achievable. The future of West Africa hinges on the ability of its diverse communities to forge a common destiny, one where differences are respected, shared values are celebrated, and the pursuit of the common good takes precedence over narrow self-interest. The Fulani and Malinke, with their long and intertwined history, have a unique opportunity to lead this charge, demonstrating to the world that unity is not born out of homogeneity, but rather from the recognition and appreciation of diversity. Imagine a future where Fulani herders, equipped with mobile technology, can access real-time information on weather patterns, market prices, and the availability of grazing lands, their movements harmonized with the needs of settled agricultural communities. Imagine Malinke farmers, empowered by access to modern agricultural techniques and fair trade practices, their harvests abundant, their incomes secure, their families thriving. Imagine Fulani and Malinke children attending school together, learning each other's languages, appreciating each other's cultures, their minds free from the shackles of prejudice and stereotype, their hearts open to the possibilities of a shared future. This is the promise of a future where the Fulani and Malinke, drawing upon their rich and complex history, choose to write a new chapter, one defined by cooperation, understanding, and a shared commitment to building a more just, equitable, and prosperous West Africa for all. Their story, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and forge unity from diversity, offers hope and inspiration not just for West Africa, but for a world yearning for peace, understanding, and a shared sense of purpose.